What you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
What's up?
And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake
Well, here we are again, chat.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Welcome everybody. I am Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We've got a few things to go over. I want to remind everybody, the new narrative out is that if the shooter had a trans roommate or a trans partner, like a romantic partner, that there's no way that he's this right-wing online meme lord. If you think that way, you're out of your mind, okay? Have you not seen all the allegations from the friends, co-workers, people that he brought, that were friends that he brought on to work for Nick Fuentes? Like, Nick Fuentes, I'm 90% sure had a romantic relationship with Catboy Cammy, okay? So bad that his audience was like, why are you hanging out with this guy? And he started banning people. Nick Fuentes one time was watching gay porn and accidentally showed him in the middle of a video to his live stream. It's this weird like hatred about what they are, right? They know they espouse like traditional marriage and white Christians and to get married before you have sex and all these traditional values. And it's almost like they hate themselves. There is no way, shape, or form that even, let's just say like he was 100%, none of this has been confirmed, but let's say he was 100%, he had a trans boyfriend that he lives with. That does not ban him from being far right in the Groyper sphere, okay? Absolutely not. There was a guy that worked for Nick Fuentes named Jaden, and you wouldn't believe the stories Jaden had about Nick Fuentes. Like, insane stories about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes had like almost a year that he ran around with Catboy Cammy that I'm pretty sure they were fucking. Like literally Catboy Cammy would be flirting with him and touching him on the stream, and Nick would just be pretending like it wasn't happening while his entire audience was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? What is happening back there? Like it's pretty intense. So even if all that's true, that does not ban him. I don't know if it's like a self-loathing kink. You see the same thing with incels, okay? And incels, there's a portion of Nick's audience that are definitely incels and involuntarily celibate, right? They can't get laid, and it's not their fault. It's because women want this, and they weren't born with the perfect jaw, and they don't have enough money, and blah, blah. It's not their fault, but they're incels, and they're mad at this environment that made them celibate, right? They're mad about economics, and they're mad about the way women think and what women seek out in male partners, okay? These people, Peter Thiel is an alt-right hero, and he's gay. He's married with a man, and they have kids, right? I'm pretty sure they adopted kids. Like that is not ban him whatsoever from being the far right groiper. I'm above 100% sure that he was a groiper. And one of these edgy, terminally online people. But before we get too far into that, I know this has been like dominating the news cycle and the show. Before we get too far into that, I forgot that we didn't have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, okay? And we should have, right? We should have had a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk just to think about everything that's going on, kind of calm down, lower the rhetoric a little bit. So I found a nice video of what I think is probably going on in heaven right now. So here we go.
Sometimes I fall to my knees and pray. Come, Jesus, come. Let today be the
It's a moment of silence, legend.
No fucking silence.
Please take that back. It's a moment of silence. This is Charlie meeting Jesus for the first time. I'm going to have to start it over now until we can be silent.
Sometimes I fall to my knees and pray.
That's a homosexual hug, by the way. Jesus loves Charlie that much.
Come, Jesus, come.
It's a very narrow waist on both of them. Wait, looks maxing?
Let today be the day.
Pretty amazing, huh?
Sometimes I fall.
Look how he holds him like a little baby. And for some reason, heaven also, the streets are ruined.
To my knees and pray.
Why is everything destroyed? Is this heaven? Is it because heaven got rid of all their immigrants and no one's there to do the maintenance?
Come, Jesus.
And then that's clearly them standing on the moon. Obviously.
Come,
Everybody knows heaven's on the moon.
Jesus, come.
That's right. No yeets. They've been silenced. Oh, and Jesus.
Scooterhoon 13
Now we gotta start
just
over.
Subscribed for 22 months.
Thank you for the
Legend, show
resubscription.
some respect.
Yeah, let's show some respect. Thank you very much, Scooter Hoon. Obviously, Jesus is a fan of America. Duh.
Sometimes I fall
No more. Stop. Gotta have a moment of silence.
to my knees and pray.
Heaven's just for dudes. Women go to hell.
Come, Jesus, come. Let today be the day.
That was pretty nice. That was a pretty nice video, no?
You mean to tell me a 22-year-old Mormon just tried to trigger a civil war with an ooh-woo?
Dillingham
Yes.
24 just resubscribed for 4 months.
Too late.
Silence.
It just says silence. Thank you very much.
With an ooh-woo? That's what they said. I watched a press conference about the Charlie Kirk school.
Thank you, Dillingham.
Caught a suspect, governor of Utah, FBI director, standing up there talking about how they caught a 22-year-old man named Tyler Robinson, how his dad is a MAGA Mormon minister cop. They talked about how they found shell casings from a 30-06 with phrases written on them because every shooter got to write a phrase on a shell casing now because everybody got to copy everybody. And they get up there and they're talking about it and they start reading what was on the shell casings.
There was a song. Who sang that song? It was like Bullet with a name on it. Bullet with a name.
Oh, what? That was an ooh-woo. That was an ooh-woo. That's what they said. The governor of Utah.
It notices bulge.
Read it that way. And there's no way he would read it that way. They're talking about it and they start reading what was on the shell casings. And I was like, yo, what? That was an ooh-woo. That was an that's what they said. The governor of Utah is not online enough to read it that way, and there's no way he would read it that way. This is how he read the first shell casing, which is, I believe, the shell casing that took out Charlie Kirk, because it was the only spent shell casing and only took one shot to take out Charlie. Okay. This is how he read it. Notices bulges, capital OWO. What's this question mark was written on the spent shell casing. But here's the thing: if you're deep.
Notices bulge. Ooh, what's this? That's yes, it is sub timber. Sub timbers.
Enough online, you know that that's not how you read that. How you're supposed to read that is notices bulge.
That's it.
Ooh, what's this? That's how that's supposed to be read. We live in a deeply
What's
flawed and
this?
unserious world, where people are constantly trying to cause and create chaos to accelerate their worldview into some sort of fantasy land that won't actually happen, even if they get their wish. And now we're all trapped here together, staring around, trying to figure out
Capital OWO.
Discord kitten wronged a shooter that then
Which Discord kitten?
and scarred the lives of, I want to say, about 3,000 people who were staring at a man in a tent. That's where we are now. Ooh.
There you go. Also, Trump has been super choked up about this. I don't even know if he has the capacity to focus on anything else that's going on around him. Have you seen the interview with him? It's bad.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up?
Okay. So the reporter says, my condolences on your friend Charlie Kirk, sir. May I ask, how are you holding up?
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
What? My condolences that your best friend, according to you, legendary, the only person that can reach the youth on the right, just fucking gushed out gallons of blood in front of 3,000 people. We all watched it live. How are you holding up? The truck's there. That's for the ballroom.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
I hope my friends remember me the same way Trump remembers his friends, to be honest with you. Also, I'm going to yell at you for a little bit, chat. It is disgusting to celebrate, to cheer on, to ooh-woo. It is disgusting to celebrate violence against another human. People have families, they have lives, they're real people, okay? They're not just a statistic. And it's pretty disgusting the way you guys are acting about it, okay? You would never see anybody on the right do this.
I will never understand how anyone can feel joy about shooting another innocent human. Where is the joy in that?
Gentlemen, please, let's get loud.
What's this?
For Kyle Rittenhouse.
Hit him with the bow, bow, bow. That's a custom rap song they made for it as well. Bow, bow, bow.
Kyle, 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 Kyle.
We're watching it again.
I will never understand.
No, you're tagging the bot, not the. It doesn't work that way.
I will never understand how anyone can feel joy about shooting another innocent human. Where is the joy in that?
Gentlemen, please, let's get loud. Kyle.
Quite this celebration for Kyle Rittenhouse, huh? You remember when they had him on a press tour? And you remember when he's crying and blowing snot everywhere? I understand you're clicking their name and trying to reply to their message. That doesn't tag them in any way, shape, or form. It tags the bot over and over and over again. We love you, Kyle.
Kyle. Kyle. Kyle.
Kyle. Kyle. For a year, they had him at everything.
Kyle.
I can't believe they would do that.
Wait, hold on. You leftists are sitting here saying that he is Republican because his parents are Republican Christian pastors, right?
This is the shirt I was talking about.
What's funny about it is he's wearing this shirt.
That says Be the Change, DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, Salt Lake. That's what the shirt says.
Right? This one right here, which is this shirt, oddly enough.
Yeah, they were basically forcing him to go. I don't even think he wanted to go. Do you guys remember when he came out and said, like, I'm not voting for Trump because of his stance on gun laws? And they, like, bullied him into doing it?
Right? But yet, what's funny about it is he's wearing this shirt, right? This one right here, which is this shirt, oddly enough. Now, the nice thing about this is you can actually look up what this is, guys.
I don't know if you guys notice anything. Check out this picture. I'll zoom in. Look at this guy. What do you notice about this picture? What do we notice about this picture? Not the fat guy here and not Good Trouble, but the guy in the background. That is the shirt. It doesn't look like it's edited. If they did a really good job on the shadows and stuff. That is the shirt that's being worn, it appears. That's not him. That's not the shooter. They just found the guy with this shirt on. They're like, oh, yeah, sure he's a groiper. Look.
Shirt, right? This one right here, which is this shirt, oddly enough. Now, the nice thing about this is you can actually look up what this is, guys. And what you'll find is it's actually a call to action designed by the Salt Lake City chapter.
It's more than just a statement. It's a call to action designed by the Salt Lake City chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America. The T is buzzing with meaning, perfect for anyone who believes in grassroots change and community power.
Democratic.
Doesn't even look like him. That's right.
What's actually
Well, they're both skinny and white. That's about it.
funny about this is that this guy, his name is Jack Bellows, and is very obviously
Look, it's not that guy. Clearly.
not this guy. These are two completely different people. Be so fucking for real. Now, what's actually nice is that you can go look up what you're posting and realize that it's fucking wrong. This is still up, by the way. Crazy work. The funny thing about this is
They don't care that it's wrong, by the way.
you possess the capacity for embarrassment.
They don't care that it's wrong. It fits their narrative, right? They do not care that it's wrong. In no way. It fits the narrative. Older millennials still saying it.
So I was up all night studying black pill culture, 4chan, and the sexuality of these people. How about you? So we need to have a real conversation here. So I know that
She does a really good job explaining it.
his room
Better than I could.
being transgender, which is irrelevant to this, but I know that the right thinks it's completely relevant. That's the only evidence they think they have that this kid is on the left. This kid is not on the left. This is alt-right. This is Groyper. This is exactly what I said it was. However, I've had to catch up on this. I think all of us have, because I knew just because I profile, right? I didn't know that the lingo of all that, but I just know because I study these guys. So when I saw those casings, I went, that's not the left, that's alt-right.
They have started,
Learned about all.
just so you know, keeping up with the lingo here, they have started calling the people that are like, we need to rise up. We're meeting together. Like-minded people need to be here. It's time to end this. It's time to not be the silent majority. They started calling those people the Kirk Klux Klan.
That, but I had to dig deeper on the sexuality of them. And this is incel culture, right? But once you get deep into the incel culture, you realize that a lot of them are closeted and they feel like abject failures in this life. They originally feel that way because they can't get a relationship with the girl, or they don't have one. They don't understand why. And then that leaks into, so I'm a failure here, but I'm also a failure here.
Oh, yeah, I need to go watch that.
So then they start to get a disdain for the world, and they have a deep depression. And so
It's almost like they will commit like homosexual acts or be attracted to like femboys or like watch femboy porn. And it's like they chastise themselves. It's not their fault, right? Something's wrong with the world. But they got caught up in the world. And that made them, it's not their fault, but they still know they're doing something wrong. It's almost like they mistreat themselves. It's so crazy. It's like, the people that have like shame kinks and shit. It's kind of like that.
it's hard to go to the outside world that you feel like a failure to engage and have conversations about that because they have self-loathing. So they go into 4chan and these online dark web territories where they can communicate and try and support each other. But instead of helping each other, what they do is, you don't need these biatches, you don't need these cheaters, you don't need these money, gold diggers. And then they start to also hate on like the gay community because they're closeted. They go after trans because they actually are often attracted to femboys. And because usually where they grow up, they don't understand that we don't care about any of that. Like, we just want them to be themselves. But also what ends up happening a lot, I guess, is that the boundaries are not, I guess the rules of sexuality break apart in a way. So what I mean by that is, like, when they want to go, oh, well, he's dating a transgender, so that means he can't be all right. Or, oh, he was gay, that means he can't. Peter. Also, Phil Godlewski came out and said that he gave Charlie his start. He helped him get started back in the day. Charlie Kirk. Fucking Teal. End of discussion. They say that to you, go, oh, well, Peter Thiel is gay. Peter Thiel has kids with a gay man. The lady, I'm going to put their names up here because I looked this up because all of a sudden I went, wait a minute. I want to know on the far right, leadership-wise, like as far as schmazzies go and stuff, like, who's gay? Oh, yeah, always been there. Always been there. But the woman leader in Germany, the far right, like one of those groups over there that tried to run this last, I think, November, she's lesbian, has like 2 kids with her partner. So it's kind of like Clarence Thomas, right? He's up there, he's got his stuff, he has his white wife, but he secretly loathes it. He secretly loathes his own blackness, and they hate their own attraction to other men. And they can be asexual too. And asexual can often be seen as a failure as well, especially if you're supposed to have a wife and kids and you don't. Right, traditional values. Convince yourself that you hate the people that brought you into the world and everything sucks, and then you become nihilistic. And then, you go on and you play games where people are just bugs and you're the hero. And
it's almost like there's stories of people that were just attracted to the same sex, right? They were gay and they hated themselves so much they just decided they would never be happy, right? They would always have to be single because they couldn't come out to people, blah, blah, and end up either killing themselves or taking other people out or murdering their family and shit like that. It's like that.
it desensitizes them to where they can go and do what they do. And that's how these alt-right communities just fester hatred, but it just allows them to go out and do things like that and not feel bad or feel anything about it. And I think that, you know, this kid likely with his memes on their stuff, you know, do I think it could have been part of the Kuiper thing? And yeah, but I think it's also like, I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like when they do things like that, where they've got their catchphrases or their meme stuff, it's to be a vibe. Like, to be a vibe to the world, like, ha ha ha, this is all a joke, you're all a joke. Look who has the last laugh now. Kind of like that. And it comes from depression, it comes from self-hatred, it feels like not being enough. And, you know, white supremacy, the patriarchy, this country, capitalism, oh, that you know, that's a shot at that every single day to pretty much everyone. Like, white men are not immune to it. They are trapped by their own system. That's why I always think about this is just a hierarchy of victimhood, because even white men are a victim to their own patriarchy, which it's not like they decided it. It's just,
it's because he's finally got something to fucking talk about, as if he's, you know, on the inside, his shtick, right? And he knows he can run that into a bunch of money real quick.
That's how things have evolved, but they're not allowed to be.
There's people doing live streams that are holding the same thing on TikTok. There's people that are holding live stream 24-hour vigils and shit where they're selling and making commission off a t-shirt. Some of them are saying they're donating it to Charlie's family. They're not. But most of them are not even saying that. Some of them don't even speak English. They're just wearing a Charlie Kirk Freedom shirt, and it's just like gospel music playing, like soft tone piano gospel music playing, and they're collecting donations. The day that Charlie Kirk died, he was worth like $12 or $13 million. They're doing a GoFundMe for the family, for the wife and kids, and trying to raise $6 million in a GoFundMe. Why? He was worth $12 million the day that he fucking died. You don't think that a wife and 2 children can live on 12 goddamn million, liquidate everything? Why? They were at like 4.8 million last time I checked it. Why? Same reason Trump runs a GoFundMe for legal defense. Or Steve Bannon runs a GoFundMe to build the wall, even though you can't do that.
Who they truly are. And it is a suffering. And, you know, I grew up in the Mormon cult. I have ADHD. I'm an artist. And I'm an entrepreneur. And being in the church where I'm supposed to be this submissive.
We had to GoFundMe when my mom passed away. We didn't have money for the funeral. Like, that's where the money went. I think my dad ended up keeping a few $100s extra. That was it.
Wife. I'm a big sister general. I'm the oldest of 8. It was impossible for me. I didn't understand the rules. I didn't understand why we did what we did. I'm an introvert, so I'd have to go do all this stuff, be around people, but everyone was fake. Everyone kept doing this, and I would go in and be so authentic, and everyone would be like, what are you doing? What are you saying? And I had to connect heart to heart, and it was just, I was breaking apart in there, and I felt shame because I was failing completely, and it will make you have an absolute mental breakdown. And essentially, they are living in these cults that, you know, he grew up in the MAGA cult. His family's MAGA. His grandmother has said they're all MAGA. She's made it very clear. She doesn't want anyone to think he's a Democrat, just a schmurger. So this is a system of shame. And, you know, it's hard because I know people want to go, oh, these white boys, F them. Okay, well, hey. That's why I don't believe in the, you know, send them all off, get rid of them, don't talk to them, stuff, because then they only have themselves to talk to. They can't learn compassion from anyone else. They can't, because you don't get, I know people want to say you get your self-esteem from your parents, but kids really only absorb that much from their parents at a certain age. The rest of the world from the time you're young is what leads you to believe you're okay or not. Your parents can praise you every day, but like it's always like, yeah, but you're my parent. When I go into that classroom or when I go to that church setting, everyone looks at me weird. They look at me funny. They're distant from me. So you can praise that kid all day, but unless the outside world engages them and is kind to them, that self-loathing will ramp up, and then you are going to get things like this because they're only going to turn to people who can understand them. And that would be the same people, right? Other incels. So, and there was men on the right too that were married, but they were having, they were still out with men. So this is something that we need.
Grinder crashes when the Republican National Convention comes to town.
To push out.
It's very weird.
I'm going to I put a list of the people up here. I have to add it. And look into them. But when they say that, just say, well, Peter Thiel is about as far right as you can get, and he's in a relationship with a man, and that lady in Germany is in a relationship with a woman. So if you get far right enough, those boundaries break down because they actually are homophobic, but not for themselves, just like Clarence Thomas. So this is a narrative we have to get out there. Like, you have to be...
You guys remember Milo Yiannopoulos? How gay he was and how he did like the self-deprecating where he talked about how horrible it was and how he's probably going to die of AIDS, and it was so weird.
Telling this to everybody. Not to mention, a lot of them don't like Peter Thiel, just like they don't like JD Vance, because they all sense that vibe. And there's a lot of incels over there. There's a lot of closeted men. And that's really what we are dealing with here. And by the way, they are not going to say this kid is on the left. They're going to say dark web. They're going to say everything other than what this is. So it really is our job to keep pushing that out there. Stay on Nick Fuentes, stay on Groyper, and then stay on Peter Thiel. Do it.
If the shooter turns out to have a feminine boyfriend, that strengthens the Groyper speculations. They are obsessed with femboys. Oh man, the chronically online wokeness is paying off. There exists a subsection of incels who are so celibate and hateful and fearful of women that they groom other incels into feminizing themselves for the sake of the cause. They call themselves operators and cosplay as characters like Ghost from Call of Duty and other very, very militarized characters in gear just to take that gear off and then being all ooh or oh whoa, hey, look at that. To be more specific, because I know a lot of you are actually looking for information, they wear military cosplays, but underneath those cosplays are like lingerie and knee-high socks. There's even a subsection of femcel who does this.
And this is going to be impossible to explain to a normal person, right?
Same thing, and the Groypers hate them. People are just now finding out that there exists a whole subsection of alt-right that genuinely views MAGA, the Make America Great Again movement, as liberal. And you're not even in the pipeline yet. You're looking at it.
Don't you remember when Nick Fuentes got so mad at Trump for H1 visas? H1B visas?
From away.
No, H1 visas.
Far away.
Charlie Kirk was just taken out by a meme-obsessed, radicalized young white man. And Nick Fuentes is getting nervous. Fuentes just rushed to issue statements condemning his followers who ever pick up weapons, which tells me that he knows that eyes are on him right now. To understand why this matters, you need to know about Charlie Kirk's long feud with Nick Fuentes and his so-called Groyper army. Back in 2019, Fuentes' followers, the Groypers, they launched...
This is how Nick blew up, was the Groyper Wars. By the way, what is on the playlist, the Spotify playlist for the Groyper Wars? Their theme song. Bella Ciao. The other thing that was inscribed in the bullet. Bella Ciao is part of the Groyper War playlist.
What became known as the Groyper Wars. They targeted Kirk and his organization, Turning Point USA. At public events, they would heckle him, disrupt his speeches, and they accused him of being a sellout. Their issue? They thought that Kirk was too soft, too establishment, too willing to play politics instead of going full
to Israel. Not strong enough on homosexuals, right? They had a homosexual at Turning Point at the time.
White nationalists like Fuentes and the Groypers. Kirk, through Turning Point USA, represented the institutional face of MAGA youth organizing. Pro-Trump, but still within the guardrails of mainstream conservatism. Fuentes positioned himself as the authentic voice of the far right, pushing conspiracy theories like the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, and openly trafficking in anti-Jewish hate. And doing that, he built a cult around himself. The Groyper Wars were about who would control the next generation of far-right activists. Now, evidence suggests that Kirk's assassin might have been a Groyper, a follower of Fuentes. That's why Fuentes was quick to put out a statement condemning the violence, because he knows he's in the spotlight. He knows that law enforcement, the media, and the Republican Party, the MAGA Republican Party, are watching. Here's where Trump comes in. Trump has always relied on Kirk as one of his most loyal propagandists, but he's also openly flirted with Fuentes, meeting him after January 6th, refusing to fully denounce him, and letting figures like Laura Loomer, who's allied with Fuentes, stay close. Trump thrives on playing both sides of this really dangerous coalition. The result is a cycle of violence. Kirk normalized political violence through Turning Point USA and promoting dangerous conspiracy theories about things like a stolen election in 2020. While both Kirk and Fuentes have pushed dangerous conspiracy theories that inspire vigilantes and people who go into shopping malls, movie theaters, Walmarts, schools, and do terrible things, Kirk had only in the last few years really started to lurch much further to the right to get closer to Fuentes. And Trump benefits from both streams of loyalty, no matter how bloody the consequences. What do we do now? We make sure that MAGA's attention stays focused on Fuentes. We keep the wedge open. Every Republican politician should be forced to answer, do you stand with Nick Fuentes, or will you denounce him and impose real, serious legal consequences on him, his movement, and his allies, like Laura Loomer, who still has regular access to the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Our objective here is clear. Keep MAGA's rage turned inward, so it doesn't fuel more vigilante or state-enforced violence against vulnerable communities. If we can drive that wedge, we can buy time and space to keep organizing, keep protecting our neighbors, and keep building the anti-fascist resistance for the long haul. And don't forget to remind MAGA at every opportunity that Kirk was loudly and openly demanding the release of a certain set of records related to one of the world's most notorious abusers of young girls and women, who was a personal and close friend of Donald Trump for years. To be clear, you should not believe these conspiracy theories that MAGA believes. But when and where you can cause discord between fascists, you should take that opportunity. This is just one of the ways that you can go on offense for democracy. Let them exhaust each other, distract each other, and weaken one another. Because if their hate is boiling inwards, it won't be boiling over to burn the rest of us.
Seconds and yeah, popcorn, let's start it off.
Script
60
keeper.
seconds and yeah, popcorn, let's start it off. These two do not look alike. Look at his.
Did anybody notice? Did anybody notice anything about the picture?
Script
60
keeper.
seconds and yeah, popcorn, let's start it off. These two do not look.
Ben Shapiro has been photoshopped on this. And Script Keeper's like, there's something's going on here.
Like, look at his lip, look at the ears, especially on this guy, because this guy definitely don't have the same ears as this guy, Tyler Robinson. Wasn't it like 33 hours or 33 on the 33rd day of the third? Yeah. That's who I think it looks like. Ben Shapiro. Look at the lip, look at the ears, and the eyebrows. Yo, that shit is crazy. Too many things don't add up. Just saying. Yeah, it don't add up. Read that. But this don't add.
For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms.
But this don't add up, no matter what y'all try to tell me. I don't care what anybody tells me, these are not the same people.
Yeah, no shit. You idiot.
Yeah.
That's clearly Ben Shapiro.
Rockefeller educational system, Rothschild banking system. And they got him. They got him. 60 seconds and yeah, popcorn.
What a fucking idiot. What an idiot. You're a moron. That's a meme someone did to make it look like Ben Shapiro. God damn, he's slow.
Script
60
keeper.
seconds and
Holy shit. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. And we had this clip coming out of Fox News.
State regime media known as Fox is just completely collapsing live on air. They're getting high off their own supply of vicious propaganda. So much so that on the morning show, Brian Kilmeade, one of the main Fox hosts, advocated for just engaging in involuntary lethal injection or something like that. Just kill them all, he says, regarding homeless people or people who may suffer from mental illness. He says, just kill them all. Here, play this clip.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right. I would say this. We're not voting for the right people. In North Carolina, wake up.
Now, I went back and I tried to...
Did you hear it?
Or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just
involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them all.
Kill them.
Yeah, Brian,
you can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right. I would say this. We're not voting for the right people. In North Carolina, wake up.
Now, I went back and I tried to watch it and say, was I taking this out of context in any way? Could he really have said it? Did he say those words? He did. And then he's continued to say those words over and over again this weekend. Again, you have Brian Kilmeade blaming the political assassination of Melissa Hortman, the former Speaker of the House in Minnesota. She was killed by a radical right Trumper with a political agenda against her as a Democrat. That's what happened. It is an undisputed fact. This is not a situation where it was in the Charlie Kirk case, a 22-year-old white kid of ambiguous background, but whose family was a Trump supporter. There's a big distinction there. So here, Brian Kilmeade says the Minnesota legislator was killed because they didn't like what Tim Walz was doing, or a former staffer of Tim Walz. So he's just blaming Democrats again here. That's what you're doing. The same thing that Fox was trying to push as it relates to Charlie Kirk also, and that narrative was false. This, all they do is just freaking lie over and over again. Here's Kilmeade. Play this clip.
And then June 14th, these Minnesota legislatures...
Fox News says that the Minnesota legislators were killed by a far-left lunatic. A former Walz cabinet member, is that what he says?
These Minnesota legislatures were knocked out, were killed. Something to do with what's going on locally. They didn't like what Tim Walz was doing, or a former staffer of Tim Walz.
Former staffer of Tim Walz.
Regardless, deranged actions, life and death.
And then you have Kilmeade over here saying that it's pretty obvious that Charlie Kirk's killer was not a Trump guy, because if you're not for Charlie Kirk, you're not for Donald Trump. Here, play this.
Tanya, it's rough out here. Let me grab another link to a video I saw earlier I want to show. Give me just a second. I can't remember when I watched it. Hold on. Oh, I know what it was near, and I know how I found it. Okay, hold on. Give me just a second. I stumbled across it when I was watching an older millennial video, so it'll be related to that. This one, I think. Yeah, let me send that to myself. There we go. I know you guys have been missing some good older millennial content.
So the shooter wasn't transgender. His boyfriend was.
Oh, look, everybody, the older millennial is talking. That must mean he's lying to you. Hey, Joe, you're repeating something as if it were fact, and yet this has only been said by one person on X who has sources in law enforcement and has not been confirmed by any of them.
Also learned that this guy is a member of the Democratic Socialists of America.
No, he's not a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. In fact, they've come out and said that they don't have a single person named Tyler Robinson registered to them. And the man in the picture with the shirt that everyone's basing this off of, his name is actually Jack Bellows. He's even come out on social media and said, that's me in the picture. It's funny you didn't show the picture of him because you knew it was fake, right? Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the ammunition was engraved with transgender and anti-fascist ideologies.
No, Joe. It wasn't. And that article that you're using from the Wall Street Journal has actually already had an editor's note attached to it, and they've walked it back. See, if you were actually honest with your audience, you would have included this part where they actually say in the editor's note that this reporting was early on and that Spencer Cox has actually said that there was nothing involved about trans ideology on those bits of ammo, and law enforcement hasn't said that, and the Justice Department has also confirmed that there was nothing on there about it. Of course, what was actually inscribed on those bullets were bits of video game memes popular with the Groyper community. Here he is dressed up as a Groyper in the actual costume.
That's the what's it? The kneeling or squatting Slav
favored by Nick Fuentes and the alt-right community, if you knew anything about it or cared to research it, which of course you don't.
Kneeling Slav.
On leftists. Also, what leftist, right, self-described leftists, as you guys want to call them, would put on their "you are so gay" LMAO? That would be making fun of gay people. If they're a leftist, why would they be making fun of gay people? That doesn't make any sense either.
Like, guys, come on, stop with this bullshit story that he was a conservative.
It's okay, Joe. I know that you're coping really, really hard right now because you can't accept the fact that it's always the alt-right that commits this type of violence, top to bottom. I would tell you to get your head out of your ass and figure it out, but you never will.
Got him. There's some more, but they're much older. Fucking Cash Patel's starting that shit about Valhalla. Also, Dr. J found this somewhere. Was this Dr. J that found this somewhere? It's you guys remember ML? ML out here doing infomercials from 14 years ago. Mark Lester Castor, ML. By the way, he was just exposed by that Boomba guy. He had, I guess, a person that used to work for ML. Sunshine gave that to me. There you go. Sunshine exposed him.
My name is Mark Castor. I'm 40 years old. I'm a business professional, and I'm here to share my story. I was born with a disorder in my mouth where my mouth is too small. The space in my mouth is too
is anybody noticing how many teeth he's got going on there? I just want to make sure everybody can see. Can you see from the back? Charlie Kirk should have went here.
mouth is too small. Mark Castor is a patient that's been here about 5 or 6 years. A very interesting case. These are some models of Mark's teeth. And Mark's situation was that he had severe crowding of his upper teeth. And so, as you can see, that was his smile, kind of like that. And his lateral incisors were pushed almost completely out of alignment.
That's some inbreeding shit, I think.
The palate area. Throughout the years, I just learned to grow to accustomed to try and not smile and to cover up my smile, my teeth, and my situation as much as possible. Any family pictures that he has, he does not smile. He does not show his teeth. And the reason is he's been so embarrassed of what his teeth look like. I've made a decision.
You got a tiny mouth like Trump.
Pretty much in my life right now that now is the time for me to make a transformation in my life. And that transformation is to have a better smile. So tomorrow morning, I start my adventure with Dr. Larson. My first step in correcting my smile and having a beautiful smile. This is going to completely overhaul, transform his smile. And he will, by the time we're done,
keep your powder dry.
With him, he will have absolutely.
He keeps it behind his 4th row of teeth.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. There will be no reason why he can't smile as big as he wants. It's called cosmetic dentistry is what he's going to do, and he's going to do a transformation on my mouth essentially in a matter of less than a month's time. Whereas most people, from what I understand, would normally go the orthodontic route, which traditionally they'd be braces for 2 years and a retainer for multiple years after that. This is a diagnostic wax up that kind of gives us our goal. This is the final product that we want. This is just made in wax, and basically it's the same models that I just showed you that have the crooked teeth missing, and the lab made this in wax. And so this is our guide, and we're going to try to do this.
Sure, how the back was on. Yeah, no. Turn it over. Yeah.
This is an adventure we're going on with Mark Lester Castor.
I did my undergrad at Oregon State. Initially thought I was going to be a pharmacist, and then I realized I really want to work more with people and work more with my hands, and so I decided to make the change and go to dental school. I graduated from Oregon State in '97, and then I went to Oregon Health Sciences University to dental school. It rains a lot in Oregon, and both of us were tired of the rain, so it's nice to be here and see the blue sky once in a while. Dr. Mickelson, who was the dentist who founded this practice here, was retiring, and so I decided to negotiate with him, and I ended up buying out his practice, and it's been the best move ever for me. Today, Mark came in, we got him very numb, and we prepared the teeth to receive the bridges. Now, what that requires is that we actually cut the teeth down about 1.5 millimeters, and that gives us adequate thickness so that the lab can make the bridge.
Dentistry is expensive, and a lot of insurance won't cover it unless it's medically necessary. I'm glad they have the dentists come to the schools here.
With porcelain, so that it
now. They did when I was a kid too, but.
For this kind of restoration, we use a lab in Nampa called Whitecap Dental Laboratory, and they build the crown. While preparing the teeth, it's very important that we have a nice clean margin.
Mariah needed dental work. I had to finance it. I put it on one of those credit cards that's just for like healthcare and stuff, Care Credit or whatever it is.
Is the edge of where the tooth actually meets the crown, and that's usually right above the gum line, right at or equal to the gum line, and the crown will seat down to that level and appear as an apple tooth coming out of the gum tissue. I'm married, and I'm a father of 3 daughters. I've been married for 15 years. I have found over the years, especially working with smiles, that people are their own worst critics. Mark has a nice smile, and most people wouldn't even really notice, but he noticed. I honestly believe that we're here to be happy, and we want to feel good about ourselves, and we're entitled to feel good about ourselves. And there is help out there for people that want to feel good about themselves and feel positive about themselves in the way they would. And my message to them is...
And now look what he's doing. That grifting piece of shit, dude.
Find that help and do it. Just do it. There's nothing to be afraid of. The only thing that you have to be afraid of is the positive results that it's going to make the impact on your life, because it will change your life.
I don't even think he'd be allowed in the military of that. Isn't his claim that he served in the military? No, it was law enforcement, wasn't it? Oh yeah, insurance will fight every way. The Mariah's the same way. She was raised on well water, which definitely didn't have enough fluoride and shit in it. Probably didn't get enough calcium. You know, her dad was a meth head piece of shit. And then, so her teeth weren't that bad, though, until she got pregnant the second time. And then, boom, like her teeth just fucking came apart. It was crazy.
I've hidden my smile my whole life. And now this gives me the opportunity to show my smile. And I'm going to have to learn how to smile and show that beautiful smile once it's done.
So what we did is, we extracted the 2 teeth that were crowded inward, and then we put temporary bridges on, which were a copy of basically the ideal bridge, which is what he has now. And so his temporaries were a huge improvement.
I'm trying to save up and get a grill.
Improvement to what he had. I saw him.
Apparently, I got to rob a jewelry store first. I'm not sure how that works.
About a week after we placed the temporaries, and he just was grinning ear to ear.
The whole point behind this transformation was for me to come to somebody new that's never seen my smile before, but to ever not know they actually ever.
That's definitely him. His cadence, his talking, his everything.
That's the whole secret.
Today we placed the bridges for Mark. A couple weeks ago we were planning on placing them with.
Not all well water is bad. There was a program when we were in school that was through the FFA and 4-H, where if you were on well water, you brought in a sample. And they would send these samples off to the labs. They had them individually numbered in a sample cup or whatever. And they would tell you, like, hey, you need to be supplementing your diet with this, and this. You can find perfect well water, right? And as long as you use a good fluoride toothpaste, your teeth will be all right. Or you can have really bad well water that is not, like, dangerous. It's not going to cause, like, disease and shit, obviously. That would be a different level, but it's not great for your teeth.
Final product, but we had we tried them in, and the shade was off just a little bit, so we decided to send it back to the lab. Mark's going to have these bridges for a long time, so I want them just perfect if we can get them there. So we sent them back to the lab, had them adjust the shade. They sent them back, and we cemented them today, and they're a perfect match. I think they look great.
As you can see, I have the finished results here on my teeth now. I have a new smile and a new boost to my self-confidence. Dr. Larson has done a phenomenal job throughout the whole process. He made sure that I was comfortable and was always mindful of my comfort or the discomfort that could take place, and he minimized that. And it was actually an enjoyable experience and throughout the whole process.
Mark, we've been talking about this for 5 years, I think, and I'm so happy that you've finally done this. Congratulations on your new smile. I'm excited for you.
It's just been a phenomenal experience, and I highly recommend anybody that's looking to have any type of...
Freaking Mark Castor, dude.
Go to Jeff Larson, because he always puts your needs before anybody else's needs, as a matter of fact. That's the thing that's nice about Jeff. He always puts your needs first and foremost.
That's a wild video. Phil posted this video. I can't share it.
This guy right here with the white hat, he starts it by creating a couple signals. He touches the bill of his hat, and then he touches his ear. The guy that shot Charlie is over on this side, so he's seeing that guy.
Why would his own security team be...
Has to get out of the way from the guy in the white, and he steps forward.
Let me ask you a question. How many fucking signals would you need for take the shot? You think you need... You think you need to do 9 fucking things? Like, oh, I gotta touch my nose, then touch my bill, then the other guy's gotta scratch his arm, then I come back in and touch my chest. And the other guy comes back in and acts like he's picking his nose. Even this is overkill, right?
To get in front of this guy so that the guy that's over here that shoots him can see him, and he rubs his right arm, and then you can see this guy in the background. Watch this.
Oh my God.
Here goes the signals. All right, this is where I really want you to pay attention. Do you see how this guy...
I might need to move this quick, so give me a second.
Touching his arm so that this guy right here in the white shirt, you can see he's holding the gun right there. Watch this. This is terrifying, guys. If I go frame by frame, watch this. So if I back up a little bit, the moment the guy in black moves his arm out, watch what happens. When the arm comes out right here, watch what happens to this guy. See how he's got his arm up? Now that
he checks his phone.
And you can see the gun right here. This is it's gonna recoil. And then as soon as he gets done...
That's a great white gun.
Here it comes. You're gonna see that guy in the white shirt.
Sorry, I had to move it. Hold on. Let me see what's going on.
Right here. He lifts his elbow. He's holding a gun. And watch what happens. He shoots it. His hand goes right back into place, and then Charlie gets hit. Watch this. Raise his elbow. Boom. Look at that. Watch the gun shoot right now, and watch Charlie get hit right now. Oh my God. Look at it. It's clear as day. The guy in the black shirt shows that guy in the white.
I want to make sure there's not a bunch of blood being shown, but...
Elbow up, pop, bang. Look at that. Pop. Bang. Oh my God.
It looks like he's checking his phone to me, but here you go. You guys can decide. We're talking about the guy way back here.
This guy right here with the white hat, he starts it by creating a couple signals. He touches the bill of his hat, and then he touches his ear. The guy that shot Charlie is over on this side, so he's seeing that guy.
So explain to me what the signals are. Like, okay, if I touch the bill of my hat, that means load the round. And then I touch my nose, that means cock the gun. And then the other guy walks in front of me, that means raise the gun. Then the other guy touches his arm, and that means fire the... Like, what the fuck are all these signals? What do you think they are?
He's also seeing this guy. This guy has to get out of the way from the guy in the white, and he steps forward to get in
No, they do not believe the shooter did it. They don't believe the shooter did it.
front of this guy so that the guy that's over here that shoots him can see
They've convinced themselves that this person couldn't make a 160-yard shot.
him, and he rubs his right arm. And then you can see this guy in the background. Watch this.
The full Macarena.
Signals. All right, this is where I really want you to pay attention. Do you see how this guy right here?
They're talking about this guy back here in the white shirt as well.
So this guy right here in the white shirt, you can see he's holding the gun right there. Watch this. This is terrifying, guys. If I go frame by frame, watch this.
It looks like he lifts his phone to me.
Back up a little bit. The moment the guy in black moves his arm out, watch what happens. When the arm comes out right here, watch what happens to this guy. See how he's got his arm up? Now that guy raises his arms, and you can see the gun right here. It's gonna recoil, and then as soon as he gets done,
It's a white gun for some reason.
Charlie moves. Here it comes. You're gonna see that guy in the white shirt. He's gonna lift his right elbow. Ready? Right here. He lifts his elbow. He's holding a gun, and watch what happens. He shoots it. His hand goes right back into place, and then Charlie gets hit. Watch this. Raise his elbow. Boom. Look at that. Watch the gun shoot right now, and watch Charlie get hit right now. Oh my God. Look at it. It's clear as day. The guy in the black shirt shows that guy in the white shirt.
Dude, here is something. Let's say, imagine you've planned this, right? You're at your wit's end. You're like, I'm going to do it. I don't care. Fuck the world. I'm going to do it. Imagine you get all of this done, right? And you get up and you're ready to go. You all black. Everything's hidden. You sneak up onto a roof. You got it. You're laid there on the roof like you're set up. You got crosshairs ready to go. And just before you pull the trigger, someone else does it. Just before you pull the trigger, it's like, boom. And you look down and someone else has done it. The fuck do you do?
Shirt in the background, his arm. The guy puts his gun up, puts his elbow up, pop, bang. Look at that. Pop, bang. Oh my God.
There's no smoke. There's no, this is not recoil, but there's no smoke. There's no nothing. These people don't react. A gun just went off beside this lady's head. She doesn't react at all. That's what we're going with. It's almost like there's a movie. Is it Shooter? There's a movie where they recruit the guy to basically be like Overwatch over the president or somebody. And then while he's watching and looking for another sniper, he's supposed to be counter sniper while he's watching, someone else takes a shot and they try to pin it on him. This lady just had a gun. I don't give a damn if it's a fucking 22. It just went off beside her head and she doesn't even react. Allegedly.
Oh my God.
Look, she doesn't even move. Fucking stupid. More information is flowing to me now than ever before, and it's not even white hat intel. Think no further. Phil confirmed what many of us said. This event served many purposes. He confirms one of them, a sloppy assassination, was always key. They made it look sloppy enough so that people would look and see. This will open up the public to the truth when they are told events like Sandy Hook was staged. Says bravo. I don't know I don't know who these guys are. No offense. I just don't watch other podcasters, but I believe they nailed it. Why go through the entire fake Trump assassination and be so careless with the details? Because they wanted us to do exactly what we did after the event at Butler, dissect every detail. Why go through this sloppy fake assassination of Charlie Kirk? Because they want us to do exactly what we are doing right now, proving it to be bullshit. They tried to stop us trusting our eyes and instead use our brains. We've been lied to for so long. Phil is everywhere. Oh yeah, they think they always see Phil everywhere. They see anybody with like a high and tight, they're like, it's Phil.
Ride disappeared on us and we jumped on this bus. They gave us a ride to dinner. Thank you, everyone. Hey, you Bitcoiners are wild. I love the Bitcoin. Thank you, guys. What won't they do? Nothing. I like this.
So Phil was allegedly in that video somewhere. Some dumb bitch. Oh, this pissed me off so bad. Some dumb bitch got on TikTok and is like, hey guys, how about we cut Charlie Kirk's wife a break? She's been through a lot, right? She's probably in shock. That's why her video comes off as propagandy and cash grabby and blah, blah, blah. She's probably in shock. Yeah. That's why a normal goddamn human wouldn't make the fucking video less than 24 hours after their husband died. We understand why it's weird, why it's cringy, why it's fucking seems like cash grab propaganda. Because she shouldn't be making it right now. Allow her to grieve. Bitch, allow yourself to grieve. What are you doing? I hope that story about her daughter is fake. That's the dumbest fucking story. And you know that's going to fuck up that kid, right? That she's the reason daddy left because she ate too many blueberries. She's going to have a fucking eating disorder, depression. Like, what the fuck is that? Let's see if we can play Spot the Phil. Oh, he's in the back. He's in the rearview mirror. Did you see him? Let's play the video again. Phil, that's Phil. Phil! Phil loves when they come up with this stupid shit, right? He loves it because then he can just share it. He didn't have to do anything. Oh, there he is again. Look at that. That's definitely a Phil neck. Oh, Phil. Guys, go back and watch the video entry again. Keep your eyes on the rearview mirror. Pause it and look hard at the driver. Yes, it is Phil. The glasses, oh my God, and that voice is unmistakable. I can't share it because he still has his page fixed, so you can't share or screenshot anything without it all being blacked out. Oh, so Phil's the driver. That makes more sense. Let's see if it sounds like Phil. Phil is the driver at Utah that day.
Wow, look at that. Give him a little taste.
Makes sense, doesn't it? You're watching a movie. I knew it all along. I just wasn't going to tell you guys. Here's the clip Phil was talking about.
Let me stay away from Charlie Kirk for a minute. Let me go to Donald Trump. You could have publicly shot Donald Trump in many other places besides in front of 12,000 people. It could have happened. You could have shown a image of him being shot on a tarmac without the close-ups and the magic bullet theory and the flag being lowered and the weird blood, right? In other words, they could have done it in a way where even we would have been like, yeah, that was real. But they didn't. So to your point, Joe, like when you say like sometimes we feel like we're blowing things, well, my question becomes...
I don't think you'll ever be able to fix these people. I'm just saying, they'll always be like this.
why didn't they? Right? If they didn't want to look, I don't know. We're not one. None of us are one of the 10. So now we're really speculating. But it's starting to seem to me, Joe and Patrick, like with some of this stuff, they want people dissecting it. And I know that, again, Joe, that goes against everything that seems to be happening right now, right? But again, I'll stay away from Charlie Kirk. Go back to the Trump one, which, like I said, I was with normies this weekend, a lot of them that don't believe that was real, right? And that only happened because so many of us went out front at the beginning and started dissecting it. So the question is with that, right, Joe? Military precision, why were there so many holes in it? Why didn't they just have a faraway shot of Trump walking out to Air Force One and boom, he goes down? Why did they leave us so many breadcrumbs?
Because they don't care about actually killing these people, because they are not the kill bracket they that we think they are. They are the narrative controllers.
They are the narrative controllers, and they want us to catch it so that we can become a people who realize that the stuff on screen is often false.
As we've been lied to not just our whole lives, but generationally throughout history. Our parents, our grandparents, our great-great-grandparents were all lied to. The Great Awakening is allowing for a new generation to potentially be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, you'll never fix these people. They're fundamentally broken in a way that you cannot fix. All right, here's the creepy ass video. Bitch shouldn't have done it. Like, if she doesn't want to people say it seems like stilted and staged and a cash grab, and why the fuck is the Time magazine and the empty chair and the microphone, and why do you blame your daughter's blueberry, like the 47 hats? Why is all this going on? May Charlie be received and it's cringy, then don't fucking do it. Wait a week. No one's going to tell you you have to do this.
Jesus. Feel this room. Good evening. My name is Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk is...
Wait a second. Have you guys ever heard the story of how they met and started dating? It's so cringy.
It's my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon. I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family these past 2 days. And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board, the COO, Justin Strife, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, for all their work in these terrible days to be the stability for our family and for the wider Turning Point USA family as well. My heart is with every one of my husband's employees who lost a friend.
Yeah, fucking Trump shouts out and praises Kash Patel for catching the shooter. They didn't.
And a mentor.
A youth pastor sent in a tip. I think the way it makes it sound is like the dad kind of confronted and forced the kid to admit it, and then told him he had to stay there until police came.
I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show who helped him.
I got to speed it up. It's less cringy sped up, but I got to. It's killing me.
This chair. Every day he loved it. He loved what he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown
The whispering, never a good look.
their love for Charlie here in Phoenix, across America, and worldwide. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well.
There's also been a report that came out that the roommate may have been the original snitch.
While bringing him home. You both are tremendous. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband...
Change my context.
And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing.
By the way, these trucks over here, they're building the ballroom.
You supported him so well, as did he for you. 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Charlie loved life.
St. Kirk.
He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. He wanted me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children. And he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day.
Every day.
He was such a good man. He still is a good man. He was the perfect father. He was the perfect husband. Charlie always believed that God's design for marriage and the family was absolutely amazing, and it is. It is, and it was the greatest joy of his life.
One man, one woman.
And over and over.
Gotta stick that in there.
All these young people to come and find their future spouse, become wives and husbands and parents. And the reason why is because he wanted.
Didn't he at one time say that that's a good reason for females to go to college is to meet a potential husband, but it's not a great reason for them to go on a career journey?
Wanted you all
a path.
Experience what he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family. It's beautiful. Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal.
I don't know that any of that's true.
Love. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. He's so incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire
Christian love, and then we go straight into revenge or
country.
Vitriol.
You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone.
He talked about the ultimate love of Jesus Christ. I'm coming for you, motherfuckers.
Listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew. He could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. You thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15. He knew you were ready to go the extra mile even when you didn't. He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better. He never gave up. And I love knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender. So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. Ever.
Well, he kind of surrendered.
Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast
Older Millennial and friends have started a GoFundMe to put local conservatives on college campuses to debate.
show that he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn. He would call all of you to be people of action who earn the future America deserves. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can. The movement's not going anywhere, and it will only grow stronger when you join it. If there isn't a chapter, you can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair.
A shout out to the website. Really?
Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com.
And don't forget to check out Purple Mattresses. This segment of of the eulogy sponsored by Purple Mattresses.
If you're a pastor, join our movement.
I was just saying the other day to Charlie that laying on the mattress slept so well I felt like I was dead. And now he is. Purple Mattresses.
At TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December. Sign up.
Oh yeah, make sure you shout out America Fest too.
Right now for that, because we would love to see you.
She's so scared the money's gone.
I would love to see you. Charlie would. He'll be there. He'll be there in spirit. Bring your kids, bring your family.
Charlie wants to see you. Buy a ticket now.
But most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one. A Bible-believing church. Our battle is not simply a political one. Above all, it is spiritual. It is spiritual. The spiritual warfare is...
I'll tell you right now, with FanDuel, if you would have signed up exactly 24 hours ago, the over-under on Charlie catching a bullet in the neck would have paid dividends, my friends. People out here saying we don't have the money. Maybe you're not investing it right. FanDuel.com.
Palpable. Charlie loved his Savior with all of his heart, and he wanted every one of you to know him too. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved. Hear me when I say this, nobody is ever too young to know the gospel. Nobody. Nobody is ever too young to get involved with saving this beautiful country, this country my husband loved and still loves. And nobody is ever too old either. There's no age limit.
Just because Charlie can't enjoy Factor anymore doesn't mean you can't. 7 delicious meals delivered right to your front door. Always fresh, never frozen. Real ingredients from around the world, as long as they're not too spicy or brown. That's Factor. Use code rebuttal at 3,000 feet per second. Rebuttal at 3,000 feet per second for 75% off your first order.
I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us. I don't remember the last time I slept. I couldn't sleep last night. And Charlie, baby. Charlie, I promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen. I promise. Charlie, I love you.
It's very vengeful, right? Like, cut her some slack. She's in shock. Get the fuck off the video then. Like, what the fuck? They'll never know anything like we did, baby. Just wait.
I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strives to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. When I got home
the combination of whispering and angry eyes and what the fuck is happening
last night.
Listen to what she told her kid. Let me slow it back down to normal speed.
Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I missed you too, baby. She goes, where's Daddy?
By the way, they they lie when they say, "Oh, shot in front of his wife and kids." Of course.
What are you?
So the kid said, "Where's Daddy?" Now this has got to be a tough time, right? Hard to explain. Some people might put it off. Some people might not. But still, it's time to be like, say something, right, that supports the kid. If you're going to put it off, you can put it off, but don't give him false hope like he'll be here in a couple hours. You know, this got to be hard. I understand, but this is not the right response.
And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, "Baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget."
Out of all the shit you could have made up, you said he's on a work trip with Jesus so he can afford your blueberry budget. She said 3.
And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness, Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now, doing what you always want to do.
Everything here is staged. I guarantee they had a publicist write this or look over it. The hats, the magazine, the white that she's wearing, the back glow, the innocence that this conveys. Everything here is staged. The podium being right here by the desk and the empty chair and the empty microphone.
Baby, making heaven crowded, right? That's what it's all about. Making heaven crowded. I can't wait to see you again one day.
If that's what it's all about, he would have been on it. He would have been a mission, right? He wouldn't have said anything divisive. Why would you? You need to lead people to the Lord. That's not what it was all about, clearly.
Thank you all again who love my husband, who supported him, who wrote him an email every single day during his radio show. He read all of them. All of them.
You okay? I don't even read all my emails, okay? And I have a much, much smaller audience than... I can't get it to them all. There's just a bunch.
God bless you all. And may God bless America.
It's so crazy how she can turn off the looking sad and crying to like staring daggers in the camera. We're coming for you. Like that's fucking insane. This person's a lunatic. Unhinged. Unfucking hinged. Listen to this shit.
I met Erica for the first time at this office, Turning Point USA office.
So we met at the office opening, the Turning Point headquarters office opening, the first one, August 2018, and I had no idea what to expect because I was coming into the office from the standpoint of they were potentially going to hire me.
And I knew of Erica, I saw Erica, and we had a very brief meeting at the office, and then I had my first conversation with Erica.
He'll tell it differently, so I'll tell you from my side. I was in the Hamptons. I get a random DM on my phone. I have zero service when I'm out there, and all of a sudden this DM flashes up, and it's like, Charlie Kirk DM'd you. Because it's so Charlie. August 31st, 2018. Hey, shoot me a text at, and gave me his number. I didn't respond for a few days.
I Instagram messaged her and said I urgently needed to meet with her, and she said why. And it was partially a job interview and also partially something else.
This is not the cutesy meet story you think it is. Under false pretenses, you pretended like it was a job interview because you had been stalking her Instagram.
So when I eventually messaged him back via text, I was like, hey, nice to officially meet you again. What did you want to talk about? Because it was so just random. And he was like, hey, I'm coming into town, into New York City. Let's meet at Bill's Burgers. Mind you, I've lived in Manhattan now for about 5 years. I've never eaten at Bill's Burgers before, so that I guess was a sign, like, let's take an adventure tonight for dinner and go find Bill's Burgers and meet your future husband that you have no idea is about to be your future husband.
And so then we had a great time, and it was about 15 minutes in, I quickly pivoted away from wanting to hire her to wanting to date her, and now we know how that worked quite well.
He got there first only because he was coming back from Fox and he kind of beat me there, and I got out of my taxi and we get our table, we sit down, and he orders. The thing that I love though is he was so sweet to the waitress, so that was something that I immediately noticed, that he was like really kind to them. And we ordered our food, and then that's when the grilling started happening. Like, that's when the interview process started happening. So I'm like, okay, this is a legit interview. Like,
But it wasn't for a job. Never was.
let's go. I'm glad I had my coffee. Like, I'm ready to debate you about Aristotle and Socrates, and you want to talk about theology? Let's do it.
Well, I'd never met anyone quite like her. I remember I called Tyler and I said he's going to have to find talent somewhere else. And whatever opening he thought she would fill, that was not going to work. And Tyler was trying to coach me down because he said that she was way out of my league. And he's still right, by the way.
So after we got through literally half of the Constitution, going through why I'm living in New York and how I shouldn't be living in New York, and what my 5-year plan is, what success looks like to me, what I studied in college, why, it's like every topic you could imagine that is close to Charlie Kirk's heart is what we discussed and went through. When it was like 3.5 hours, and they were starting to close.
Yeah, when my parents passed away, I was inconsolable for a long ass time.
Up, and he was finished with his burger and just sat there, and I'm like looking around like, okay, did I get the job? Like, what's going on? I don't need the job, but did I get it? What's going on? And he goes, I'm not gonna hire you. It's like, okay, well, thank goodness I didn't need the job, because I'm already doing stuff here in Manhattan. He goes, I'm gonna date you. And I kind of just sat.
Didn't ask her out. He just told her, I'm going to be dating you.
I froze. I mean, wouldn't you? I literally I was just like, okay, was not expecting this at all. And I was like, do you want to how about we just be friends first? Like, see where it goes?
And I told her I had enough friends and that I didn't want to be friends with her. So that was...
They think this is like a cute, like, this is how we met story. It's not. It's very creepy. He has this weird power dynamic over her. She thinks he's there for a job interview. He knew that wasn't a job interview from the start.
A non-starter, but if she wanted to date, that would be great. I had enough friends. And
I don't want a friend. I've got enough friends. You can either date me or not, but that's fine.
Finds that to be very funny, but I meant it.
And without hesitation and like zero hesitation, he goes, I have enough friends in my life. So either we're going to date or we're not. Do I have any time to think about it? Yeah, you have until...
Do you have a choice?
Tomorrow night when I take you out for dinner, and then you can give me your answer at dinner tomorrow night. But know that the offer's on the table, and I want to date you. Okay. So...
This is because he's never had a job. He's never had this interaction and shit like this. He's never been a real fucking person, right? From 18 years old, he was this MAGA cultist. That was it.
Then afterwards...
Or right-wing cultist.
Like, thank you for this meeting. I need to go walk home now so I can process what happened. And I literally remember walking home from like 54th and 5th all the way to 30th and Madison to just kind of process what just happened. And I remember calling my mom. And I was like, hey. She's like, hey, how are you? What's going on? How did it go? And I was like, well, I didn't get the job. She's like, oh, that's okay. I was like, but I got a boyfriend. And she's like, oh, that's nice.
The first date ended, if I remember correctly, just telling her I needed to see her again very soon, I believe Saturday. And then I guess our second date was a basketball date. And then that was a very fun night, long night. And then I said, hey, do you want to go to Hawaii tomorrow? And because I was going anyway. And she said, sure. And so I bought her ticket, and she accompanied all of us to Hawaii. And Josh was there, and Sarah was there, and we had a great time.
God knew I literally needed someone to smack me up beside the head, being like, I'm not playing games. I'm not going to play with your heart. I'm a loyal person. I'm a good person. I'm a God-fearing person. I want to date you. I have zero tricks up my sleeve. And he just knew that I needed someone like that. And he literally was like, here's Charlie. And it was just, I think it took me by such surprise in my mind, but in my heart, I was like, no, this is, let's do this.
What was it like?
He was rejected from West Point. So basically the way Charlie Kirk got started is when he was a junior in high school, he volunteered for a Senate campaign for Mark Kirk. He's not related to him. His senior year, he made a school-wide campaign to reverse the cost increase on cookies at his local school. Then he wrote an essay for Breitbart about the liberal bias in the liberal bias in high school textbooks, which ended up getting him featured on Fox Business, not Fox News Channel, Fox Business, about how textbooks were too liberal. He applied for West Point and was rejected. He went to Harper College, which is in near Chicago, and dropped out. He didn't even make it through the first semester. Then he started these weird speaking engagements because he had that little bit of clout off Fox News or Fox Business, where he was doing these youth empowerment, right-wing Tea Party bullshit or whatever. And he decided he wanted to do political activism full time. So him and another guy named Jim Montgomery, started that guy was a Tea Party candidate. Got together and started Turning Point USA. And it was supposed to be in response to something called MoveOn.org, which was a liberal movement at the time, right? And basically, because this guy Montgomery was a candidate and in the Tea Party movement or whatever, they went right in, and they were at the RNC that year. He found a guy named Fry, is that the guy's name? Who's a Republican mega donor. And they had already started Turning Point, and he got this Republican mega donor to dump a bunch of money into it. And boom, that's it. Turning Point USA.
Dating Erica, very fun. I mean, she's incredibly loyal, a great sport about traveling and about always having my back. You know, for those people that know me, I sit around most times and don't do much and adverse to traveling, very shy, trying to find my purpose in life. So she was obviously very helpful at fixing all those things.
I truly feel as if every piece of my life prepared me to date him and eventually obviously marry him, but to date him. And I say that because ever since I was little and even after college and adult years, I traveled all the time. And I was used to living out of a suitcase. I was used to a very unconventional schedule. I was used to the entrepreneur mindset and just in the mode of building and building and building. And so I got him. I understood that. I understood his sporadic schedule because mine was just as sporadic. And I understood the...
In 2020, ProPublica investigated TPUSA's finances and found that the organization made misleading financial claims, that the audits were never done by an independent auditor, and that the leaders had enriched themselves while advocating for Trump. ProPublica also reported that Kirk's salary from TPUSA had increased from $27,000 to over $300,000, and that he had bought a $900,000 condo in Longboat Key, Florida. In 2020, Turning Point USA had $39.2 million in revenue. Kirk earned a salary of more than $325,000 from TPUSA and related organizations. In 2021, TPUSA announced an online academy targeting students in schools, poisoning our youth with anti-American ideas. Turning Point Academy was intended to cater to families seeking an America First education. Arizona education firm StrongMind initially partnered with TPUSA with plans to open the academy by the fall of 2022 and assessed its potential to generate over $40 million in gross revenue at full capacity, which was going to be 10,000 students. The partnership ended, though, after StrongMind received backlash from its own employees and key subcontractor Freedom Learning Group, which prepared course content for the academy, also backed out once Charlie Kirk was announced.
The sleepless nights, and I understood like having to make the time for someone.
He's got $1 million home in Longbow.
It doesn't just come to you. You have to work at it. You have to invest into it. And so dating each other, I loved it. I mean, we got to know each other. I tell you what, you learn something about someone a lot more quickly by traveling with them than you do just seeing them on a weekend for just a getaway. When you travel with someone and you have to go through TSA and you have to go through all the different airports and you have to deal with hotel rooms not being ready and car rentals not working out and missing your flight.
They ended up, when Trump started running, Charlie Kirk bought out students for Trump. And that's how he gets his fillers in heavily at colleges.
In every logistic you can imagine, because you see every flavor of someone's humanity, and we just, God literally made us for each other.
She was always such a great sport with all the chaos that is my life, and Turning Point USA, and my biggest fan, my biggest cheerleader, and always being just so full of grace and wanted to see me succeed.
So in November, I was scheduling my photo shoot for Proclaim Streetwear because we were relaunching, and Charlie he's so smart, but he's even smarter that day because he worked a deal with the photographer that apparently that was the day. I had no idea. All I knew is that in the morning I get a message saying, hey, while you're doing your shoot for Proclaim, I would love to do like Christmas photos. We never take photos together, let alone Christmas photos. I was like, okay.
And finally I was like, oh, let's do pictures together. She's like, you never want to do pictures together. I said, well, today I do.
And I'm positioned in a way where like my hand is on his chest. It's kind of like prom picture, but not aggressive like a prom picture. So we're saying, I'm like, babe, your heart is racing. And so I think that cued the photographer to be like, okay, let's speed this up. I stood over there. He was standing there. No idea that when I turned around that he was already on one knee. I turned back around. I see him there. I froze. I just lost it. He was crying. I was crying. It was by far the most beautiful, emotion-filled moment that I had ever experienced.
Then he whispered in my ear, you're not allowed to have gay offspring. Very creepy. The interview, the fake interview, it was actually an interview to be his girlfriend. Very strange. Anyways, that's it. I'm going to try to stop Carl unless something big happens or something comes out or something changes.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And there's been a lot.
I want to move on from Charlie Kirk. Damn, we've covered it for days in a row. So thank you guys for joining us. If you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Love you. See you. Bye. I don't know what else to say. See you guys. It's 1:30. Damn.
Tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit.
Well, my true believer.
Y'all need Jesus.
Praise the Lord, head to the extreme.
All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like four in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen.
Have a good night.
I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms.
Thank you guys.
A tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of